Hey, what's up? How's going? Today I gonna tell you some Reddit stories which gives you more different emotions. So make sure you watch until the end. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I'm from India and my name is Shatrughan. My English is not too good. So if I fumbled, please manage it. So our first story is my husband told me we never had a daughter. The terrifying part is that I almost believe him. I need you to understand something before I start. I'm a primary school teacher. I'm no dramatic. I correct children's spellings and pack lunches. And now every parent's name and their dog's name. And which kids needs an extra 5 minutes. I'm the most grounded person I know. I'm telling you this because what I'm about to write sounds like the confession of someone who isn't. Her name is Ali. She's 18 months old. She has her father's jaw and my eyes and a way of destroying every block tower. She wills immediately after completing it. Like she is testing a theory about improvements. She says 4 words. She smells like warm bread after a bath. When I sing a specific song, 3 lines, a melody, I made up in the dark during a 4 a.m. feed. She stops whatever she is doing and turns toward the sound. I know she is real. I know she is real because I found her shoe behind the radiator. Let me go back. Leo and I met in a bookshop. He took a book off the shelf before I could reach it and held it out to me. With a half apologetic smile, force of habit, sorry. He had read it 3 times. He didn't follow me. When I walked away, that was the first thing I noticed about him. Most men would have. Leo didn't chess. He positioned. He was interesting and he let me decide. I decided he was a managing director of M&A at an investment bank. He was charming in a way that made you feel specifically chosen rather than generally approved of. He remembered everything. The exact word of a conversation from 6 months prior. The mean of a student diary mentioned one in passing. You were listening, he had say, I always listen. I thought that was love. I know now what is actually was. He wasn't storing memories. He was building a key. We married 3 years after the workshop. Ali came 18 months later. We had a house with a garden and neighbors we liked. Sarah and David Henderson. Warm people, the kind who bring food when you are ill, and a life that looked, from every angle I could find, like the thing you spend your 20s hoping for. And then, slowly, almost imperceptibly, it started. The first thing was small. We were at dinner, the 3 of us, normal Tuesday, and mid-sentence Leo just stopped. Not paused to think, stopped. Eyes open, completely present, but displaying nothing. Like a screen that's on, but not running anything. Leo, nothing. Nothing. Leo. He blinked, continued the sentence from exactly where he left off. Same tone, same pace, as if no time has passed. You just stopped. What? Mid sentence, you just stopped and stared at me. Lisa, I didn't stop. I was talking. I let it go. I was tired. Ali wasn't sleeping through yet, and I was running on 4 hours most nights. I told myself it was the kind of things tired people imagine. The next week, the coffee mug in the wrong place, a conversation I remembered differently from him. Furniture shifted by a few inches, not moved exactly, just off, like a photograph hung slightly wrong. I did come home once to find him just off like a photograph hung slightly wrong. I had come home once to find him sitting in the living room with the TV off, watching my reflection in the dark screen. He didn't know I had seen. Each thing small, each thing deniable, each thing meant to explain away. I started explaining a lot of things away. I confronted him eventually, calmly. I sat down with him after Ali was in bed, and I laid out my examples carefully. The way I had worked to it for 2 weeks, he listened all the way through. When I finished, he paused. Then, how long you been feeling this way? Not answering me. Turning it, he told me I hadn't been sleeping properly, that sleep deprivation causes memory distortion, that I had been under stress since going back to work. He touched my face with the specific touch I loved. Come back to bed, I went. 3 days later, he told me he had spoken to a psychiatrist just to get some context. He suggested we come in together or you go alone. Whatever feels right. I just want you to feel better. Dr. Rivas was in his 50s, patient, professional. His office was designed to feel safe. I talked. He listened. He took notes. His notepad was open when I sat down. 2 words already written. Husband concerned. I didn't register properly at this time. I do now. He's starting bringing me tea before bed. I don't know exactly, but the medication changed. Dr. Reeves had prescribed something mild, something to help with sleep and anxiety. Leo started making the tea around the same time. It seems caring. It seems like exactly the sort of thing he would do. The nightmares started on the third night. Ali's room, Leo standing over her grave, his turns, the knife in his hand, his face completely calm. He picked her up. I try to scream and nothing comes out. I woke gasping. Leo is full asleep. I went to Ali's room and stood in the doorway until my breathing stopped. She was fine, I told myself. It was the new medication. I didn't tell Leo. The nightmares escalated. 3 nights running, each longer, more specific. The third time, I woke up screaming, and Leo was already holding me. Already there before I fully surfaced, his arms around me, his face against my hair, his eyes open in the dark, looking at nothing. I was too frightened to think about how he was always already back. I lost a Friday night. This is the part that's hardest to write because I still don't have full access to it. I remember a bath, a glass of wine Leo had poured, closing my eyes, and then I woke up in the bed on Saturday morning with damp hair and my pajamas on and no memory of getting out of the water. I went downstairs. The living room stopped me in the doorway. The living room stopped me in the doorway. Same room, same dimension, same bones, but the curtains were different. Photos on the walls showing things I didn't remember. Of a nice trip. I had no memory of occasions I couldn't place. A version of our life I didn't recognize. Like someone had taken everything familiar and shifted it through degrees. Leo managed it with completely warmth. He named the nice anniversary. He reminded me of the restaurant, the dress I had worn, the thing I had said on the bridge, and the horrible part, the part I can't fully forgive myself for, is that I almost remembered. Over my shoulders his face was Nothing. The expression of a man waiting. I think I need to see someone. I had been thinking the same thing. He hit me on a Thursday. Normal Thursday. Good dinner. Half a bottle of wine. Ellie in bed. I was telling him something funny from school. I was telling it well. He was laughing at the right moments, and I turned to put a plate in the rack. He hit me so hard, and I went to the counter as first. I didn't understand what has happened. Not pan yet, just the world had stopped making grammatical sense. I turned towards him, and the second one put me on the floor. He crossed me. He crouched beside me, not enraged, not out of control, with the same energy he uses for everything, measured, deliberate, focused. He hit me the way he closes a deal, like finishing a task, his face the whole time neutral, present, completely silent, no grunt of effort. No change in breathing. I stopped trying to get up after the second time. Something animal understood that moment was making it rose. I bent still and looked at Ellie's plastic cup by the fridge. I bent still and I looked at Ellie's plastic cup by the fridge and I focused on it completely. While the room went strange around the edge, then he stopped. Not because I did anything, just done. He stood up, straightened, looked at me on the floor with same neutral assessment, and then he stepped over me, not past me, over me, and went upstairs. I got up. I turned off the tap he had left running. I put cling film over the leftover and put them in the fridge. I wiped down the counter and washed the plates and dried them and put them away. I cleaned the kitchen because my brain needed something to do that made sense. If I could just make the kitchen normal, maybe the last 10 minutes hadn't happened the way I thought they did. I got into bed beside him. I lay in the dark not knowing if he was asleep. I didn't know which would be worse. I woke up on Sunday, 2 days gone. My body felt wrong in a way that wasn't quite pain. 2 days gone. My body felt wrong in a way that wasn't quite pain. More like a wrongness that had been distributed evenly through everything. Leo was sitting up beside me reading. Coffee on the bedside table, like every Sunday morning of our marriage. He told me I will had an episode the roast yet. That he had come downstairs, that I had been aggressive, that I hurt myself against the counter, that he and Dr. Revis had gotten me upstairs between them. I took your memory of being beaten, kept the kitchen, the floor, the pan, replaced the cows. I know that now. I didn't know it then. I just knew that I looked at my arms and there was nothing. No marks, completely clean. And I couldn't find Thursday. Leo's hand came over mine on the breakfast table and I asked him, "Did you hit me? Did you hit me?" I looked at me with something that looked like heartbreak. "Is that what you think happened?" "I don't know what I think." "I know you don't," said so gently. I looked at his hand over mine, the specific hand I had held for 7 years. I didn't pull away, because pulling away would have meant deciding. I didn't have enough ground under my feet to decide anything. He took Ellie on a Wednesday night. I know that's when because the Sue was still by the grave on Tuesday. I know because I had kissed her goodnight and sung the song and she had turned towards my voice and gone to sleep with her arms out the way she always did. He brought me tea before bed. I drank it. I followed him upstairs. I woke up and reached towards the grave and my hand closed my ear. I went to a room where clean, wrong. I opened the wardrobe, empty. I got on my knees and opened the toy drawer, empty. I checked behind the curtains and under the changing table and inside the drawer again, as if the second time would produce different result. Leo appeared in the doorway, sleep rumpled, genuinely confused. Where is she? Who? Where is Ellie? Where is my daughter? The specific tragedy of his face. We never had a child. I went through every room. Ellie had been removed from every surface of my life. Every photograph, every toy, every piece of clothing. 7 words and she was gone from the world as roughly as she had never been in it. I came back to Leo, standing in the hallway watching me search, and I stopped in the middle of the hall and went quiet. No breakdown, no rage, just silence, where a person used to be. Leo held me on the floor, his arms around me, his voice low and steady. The voice I had loved for 7 years. I'm here. I'm right here. I sat inside his arms, inside his house, inside the reality he had built around me, completely alone. I found the photograph 3 days later, reaching into the back of the closet. My hand found a corner of something caught behind the winter coats. I pulled it out. 3 peoples, me, Leo, Ellie. She is real. She was here. She is here. I heard his car in the driveway. I tucked it in